Hi all, I hope you've had a chance to try these problems out. Let's go through the solutions a little bit. When we're solving for x, we're trying to get the term with the x by itself and then get the x out of wherever it is. So let's start by adding 8 to both sides, just like we usually do, and we get 12 divided by x equals 30. Now if this said 12 times x equals 30, we'd just divide by 12 and all would be done. But since that x is in the denominator, we have to get it out of the denominator. There's two ways to do this. One is to take the reciprocal of both sides. And if we take the reciprocal of both sides, that just means we flip the fraction over, right? So that becomes x divided by 12 equals the reciprocal of 30 is 1 divided by 30. And now we can multiply both sides by 12, and we get x equals 12 divided by 30. And you can simplify that fraction if you want. They're both divisible by 3, and I get 4/10 or 0.4. The other way to do this, and which might make more sense for some of the other problems we're going to do, is instead of taking the reciprocal, since that x is in the denominator, it's essentially saying divided by x. Normally, to undo a division, we multiply. So let's do that. Let's take 12 divided by x equals 30, and let's multiply by x. Since it says divided by x, let's move that around by multiplying by x. So now 12 divided by x times x is 12. 30 times x is 30x, and that looks like something we can solve. Divide both sides by 30, and we again get 12/30 for x, which simplifies to 4/10 or 0.4. Let's take a look at the second one. This one's a little bit different because we've got more than just x in the denominator, but the method of solving is pretty much the same. So let's do that. Let's start by moving the 6, subtract 6 from both sides, and so I get -10 divided by x plus 5 equals 4 minus 6 is -2. Oh, a quick note. The -10 divided by x plus 5, the negative sign can go in front, it can go in the numerator, or it can go in the denominator. If you put it in the denominator, make sure that whole denominator is in parentheses. Either way, whichever way is most convenient for you to do it, works. So when we write the equation, it's most convenient to write that as subtraction, but after we go to solve, that negative sign, I'm going to put it in the numerator so it's easier to deal with. Now in the last problem, we took the reciprocal of both sides. When the problems get a little more complicated, though, when we've got more stuff going on, I like to do method B, where we multiply both sides by the denominator. So now the denominator is x plus 5, so we multiply by x plus 5. Hey, keep that in parentheses. We're multiplying by that whole quantity. So we're going to get -10 equals -2 times the quantity x plus 5. We can distribute or just divide by -2. I'm going to distribute. -10 equals -2x minus 10. Yep, that's right. So now I add 10 to both sides, and I get 0 equals -2x. So if I divide by -2, x equals 0. Okay, for the last one, same kind of thing. This one, though, we've got an extra variable in there. So let's deal with that. Let's first move that 3 over so that fraction gets all by itself. +3 plus 3, I get 3 over x plus 1 equals x plus 3. And now, to get rid of the denominator, I multiply both sides by x plus 1. And when I do that, 3 divided by x plus 1 times x plus 1 is 3. Over here, since I'm multiplying this quantity x plus 1 times this quantity, I've got to put that x plus 3 in parentheses. Oh boy, I got to multiply this out because this is going to be quadratic now. X times x is x squared, plus 1x, plus 3x. 3 times 1 is 3. So I've got 3 equals x squared plus 4x plus 3. If I subtract 3, since it's quadratic, I've got to get that 0 on one side. I get x squared plus 4x plus 0. And I can factor a little bit, take that x out. X times x is x squared, x times 4 is 4x. So either x equals 0 or x plus 4 equals 0. So x is 0 or x is -4. And that's how you solve those 3 problems. Thanks very much for watching. I hope if you got questions, email me.